you. I can hear your.
Hello.
I can hear your.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Highway to the...
Wait, have we got a danger zone? Is that? Oh, because the Strange New Worlds.
Every time.
Ness of it all. Danae has a new haircut.
Is that the news this week?
Bangs. Bang, bang.
Bang!
Sorry, that was very
Ow,
loud.
that was loud.
There are 4 streams. Why are you running all the streams?
There are 4 lights. There are 4 lights.
I miss being able to make music happen.
Oh, I can do something.
No. No. Oh, no.
It's just the one that's on the board. That's it.
We're in the wrong order. Oh, no.
I'm dizzy. Stop it. Stop
No,
it.
You stop it.
I'm really dizzy.
Sarah, somebody asked for it.
Yes, we are. I don't like that music. We are on 4 different places. This is our first time streaming to the Ian and Danae YouTube channel as well. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing.
I do too, Slab.
Where did it come from, Aaron? Give us the background on your cap.
It came from London.
London!
I don't even know what that's from, but you guys do it every time, so I do it.
You sound like you're from London.
Yeah, we popped into a shop on... You'll have to help me with the geography of London. What's the big circle where Buckingham Palace is with the statue? And the...
It's the Bucky Circle.
Is that Trafalgar?
Trafalgar Square. Correct. Yeah.
Chilfogger?
Trafalgar is in the Battle of Trafalgar, not Trafalgar.
So we were in Truffle Pig Square and were held up by a little bit of rain. The only rain on our 3-week trip to the UK, if you can believe it.
The 3-week trip that was in October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been horrific. Including a week in Scotland, which should have been absolutely torrential.
Yep, but nope, we got sunshine, as is our wont. But anyways, there was a little bit of rain that came before we were heading in there. And so we popped into a shop and I put on this hat and I looked at Ian and Jen, my wife, and they went, "That hat is you." And I went, "I agree." And I bought the hat.
That's my problem is I'll put a hat on and then people say, "That's you." And they say it about so many hats that I just want a hat collection.
You really do suit hats.
Really-
we
I
found
really
a red
enjoy
one
hats.
yesterday that I was like, this hat is ridiculous. I put it on your head. I was like, damn it, we need to buy this hat. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Whereas I can't find hats that fit me. This is like an ill-fitting sock that's barely going over your big toe. Like I am bursting out of the top of this hat.
You may have been trying to use a condom as a sock. I'm not
Yeah, I don't
sure how
know.
you
I
only
think
got
I don't think
over the
that's-
big toe.
That's not how that works.
Not how that works. It's not. And all I want to do is rep the best Star Trek movie going, and I can't.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can find the red hat picture.
Ian looks like a guy wearing a disguise when he wears hats.
I'll put
Jonathan has said something very similar. He's described me as a drug dealer of some sort whenever I wear a hat.
I'll put it up on our Patreon.
You know,
hat?
No,
you know
my
I love
red-
Generations too, right?
My non-red hat. We didn't get their hat. That's not my
We
hat.
didn't.
But
Sorry.
it was the hat that's like, it could have been my hat.
What did you say, Aaron?
I said, you know that I love Generations too, right? Like we're on the same page on this.
Do you genuinely? Do you like
Yeah,
that
no,
movie?
Generations is genuinely one of my favorite Star Trek movies.
That makes me feel like I've done something wrong.
What do you mean?
We're not usually on the same page about Star Trek.
Yeah.
No, that's unfair. We are. Genuine. Tell me what you like. This isn't it's so
This
rare
is the
that I
place
meet
for it.
It is. It's
This
so
is
rare that-
absolutely the audience is literally
Yeah.
here to talk Star Trek. This is the place
No,
for it.
it literally is. Just give me really quick. Why do you like Generations? Because it genuinely is like it's up there with Star Trek 5 in terms of how people don't like it. generally.
I think the interplay between Picard and Kirk is just perfect and says something really interesting about what it means to lead, how they're different leading styles. Like, it's not just hey, look, it's the old X-Men and the new X-Men and they're in the same movie. It's not just that. I think it literally does something with that's interesting. And I need a rewatch. I haven't watched it in a couple
can we
decades.
watch it on your can we please watch it on your big
over.
screen?
Yeah, we'll see you later today.
Let's do it. I have nothing else on today, like editing a podcast. I completely agree. That's one of my favorite parts of it. And the way they so sparingly intermingle TOS and TNG. Now, whether that was out of we can't get all of these people together because they hate each other, or deliberate, I think it was executed really, really well. I not too much of it. Love it. But none of the net camera, none of the Nexus makes sense. Not a single bit of it. Not a single. Hey. Let's go back to a couple of seconds before they launched the rocket instead of several months before he was even concocting this plan. Yeah, there's much of the movie that does not make sense. That's the hat.
That's
the hat.
This is my hat that would never became my hat because we didn't buy the hat.
She could absolutely wear that hat.
I would like to know in the chat if you think that we should put that hat in my budget.
Wait.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we have a vote. That's all we need. We just need to have Sarah confirm.
No, invalid.
See? Doesn't it look cute? It's very big and very brimmy.
It was $770.
It was not.
No, it was probably $20. It was a very inexpensive boutique
Thank
store.
you. Please continue to pour in your support of my hat bit.
Hat bit.
It's really funny to me.
Oh, habit.
How do I stop sharing?
I laughed before. You could, I don't know. I think you.
Oh, no. What have I done?
There we go.
Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to take this as you should get it.
Oh,
this is a clear one.
Love this.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely giving that. It wasn't quite cowboy, but it was like
when she loved me.
Is that
when somebody loves you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, what's that
I'm
from?
gonna be crying for a bit.
Here, look at this and cry. Look at this and sob. Yeah, it was very heavy. That's why I was bent backwards. Absolutely.
Yeah. It had its own gravitational pull. It's kind of verging on a Guinan hat because it's got that really, really wide brim.
You don't need a hat down there.
Guinan hat? No, you're gonna have to spell that one out for me.
Let's not.
A Guinan
and move on.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to the live show today.
It's a hat you get from your gynecologist.
I was trying so hard to move on.
No, I'm so glad you did it. Oh my gosh, she would make it a great. I'm Guinan the gynecologist.
Stop it.
I was about to say, how did they never make that joke? But also TNG.
As a person who has one of those, shut up, both of you.
You have a Guinan?
I'm out. Bye, everybody.
Peace. Just 2-person show today, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
We
can do it.
I think we could.
You could.
Can you come back?
No.
Tough. Forcing it. Okay. Do you want to do some spiel, Ambassador? While I do a banner, and then we can get a show recorded.
I definitely do. Two Guys in Hats podcast.
Two guys, two hats.
Thanks for joining us today. As a reminder, this is our final day to broadcast on the CinemaSins Twitch platform. It's our final day to air the show on the YouTube channel, the CinemaSins Podcast Network channel. So if you're watching from either of those places, you're going to want to move over starting next week. But also, we are going to be broadcasting at a new time because it's time to change things up once again. That's right. We don't want you to get comfortable. We don't want you to set your clock consistently for more than a few months at a time.
No.
We will be sharing those details on our Patreon, patreon.com/Ian and Danae. We will be sharing them on our Discord, which will be on both the CinemaSins Discord and then also onto the Ian and Danae Discord. So everything is shifting over. This is our final week on the CinemaSins platforms. Just as a quick note, it's been amazing to be able to launch the show with the CinemaSins support. We are really appreciative of being given the opportunity to like try the podcast out. It started off with Ian telling me that I needed to watch Picard and me saying, I don't wanna. And then him saying we should do a podcast. And I was like, okay, maybe.
What's wild is that there was only one thing I wanted you to see in Picard, and it was the return of Data. All of that was built up because I knew you would like squee at seeing Data, and it snowballed rather ridiculously.
So we have obviously had years together since then of trying different formats and different ideas, and then acquiring you guys as we go. I mean, some of you guys have been with us from the very first episode, and some of you have found us. So it's just been really humbling and exciting, and we are excited to break away and see what happens. We're nervous and excited. That's the truth. But it's very humbling. So if you're watching this on the CSPN YouTube in the future, you're still going to be able to get this show. It's just going to be over at the Ian and Danae YouTube. So to get there, you go to youtube.com/the@ Ian and Danae. And that will get you to that. We have quite a few that watch these later on. So thank you for doing that. And that's it. I think for the housekeeping stuff.
Yeah.
For the show stuff, we're an R-rated show.
Fuck!
So make sure that you are appropriately listening with earbuds if you're out in public, because we say embarrassing things about gynecologists as well.
Hey, not embarrassing.
Barbie was excited for that visit. I'm just saying, like that was the thing. She was looking forward to it.
Yeah, but once you're there in that lighting, splayed before a man and an assistant trying to make small talk with you while they stretch open yourself, it's not as exciting. Okay. All right, moving on.
That's
this
all
is an
I was
R-rated
asking
show.
for was that rant.
This is an R-rated show.
All I was asking for.
Where we discuss Star Trek and extra stuff, apparently. But thanks guys for being here. We are going to be, while we're live, there's a little ticker that ticks across the bottom that lets you know that we are not able to just chat with you directly, but we'll come back at the end of the show and of course say hello and goodbye and all that stuff. We try to pin your comments for later and put them up on the screen during the show. We have X'd the sins section of the show, but we still encourage you to point out things that you thought were a little bit wonky or sinful about the show, and we'll put those up on too. But we talk about it instead of in a segment. We're doing it kind of as we go. So feel free to put your comments. I will see them and pin them and try to get them all.
And steal them and present them as our own occasionally.
Yes. We particularly enjoy the ones where you know really interesting information about the episode or the actor, the director, that we maybe didn't have time to look up because we just watched it.
Yeah, to be clear, the stuff I totally know, but only don't talk about because I didn't have time to research.
And that's it. You ready to get going?
I am ready. I do want to raise something that has been bugging me. Canonically, last week is the only episode that has not had me present a star date.
Why?
I can't undo that now because you took over the reins. You did it. You did the opening.
But I thought you were going to fix it.
No.
No.
I suggested fixing it and you're like, no, we should leave it. And it's not often.
No, I do remember that. I thought maybe there would be like a little star date interjection.
No, I completely gave it over to you. So for the record, last week's star date was 2018-85.1. Oh,
is that normal?
Better. That feels better.
Is
what normal? Is there string coming off of it? Yeah, that's normal.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a printing snafu.
Let's talk about some fucking Star Trek.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wait, I lost my intro. There we go.
Yep.
No, there we go. Welcome to 10 Forward, the part of the show where we grab something.
What?
From the replicator and share our immediate thoughts and feelings on the episode we just watched. Most importantly, he's two nacelles short of a Farragut. It's Commodore Dicer.
Hello.
Did that
That
meet
sounds
your...
like an insult.
Did you? No, it was. It absolutely was.
Oh,
yeah, unless you think the Farragut is better off without its nacelles. Which Aaron wouldn't know the Farragut if it had nacelles or not. It would still just look like a Millennium Falcon. So yes, Ambassador, what would you like from the replicator?
I want Uhura's lip gloss, please.
Hell yeah, you do. Dicer, can I suggest you want her eyeshadow?
Sure. Go ahead. Suggest it.
No. What would you actually like from the replicator?
Uhura's eyeshadow, please.
Excellent. Not a beverage? Weird. I would like just one of those drones to follow me around and just record everything, because I don't think we're far away from having a documentary drone that presents a very biased documentary. Ambassador, give us a synopsis of the episode.
Oh, okay. You know how like sometimes when you want to introduce Star Trek to your friend and you think, oh, where should I start with this? There's so many that you can start with. Well, if they're a documentary fan, this is the one that you're going to want to start with. Show them this documentary, and then they get to decide if they ever want to watch Star Trek again.
I don't know that I agree.
This is a great. If you like documentaries, you wouldn't kick off with this one.
It's no.
If they're a massive fan of documentaries, you wouldn't be like, watch this episode.
No, my number one note on here is basically for me to leave and let Dicer give an incredible rant about how this is one of the worst documentaries ever put to film. For so many, it is basically everything a documentary should not be. However, before we get into that bursting emotion that's coming out of me, overall thoughts and feelings. Commodore Dicer first. Did you like the episode?
I really, really enjoyed Uhura's sweater that she was wearing during her interview. I thought that was really super cute. On to you guys.
Oh, no. Ambassador, overall thoughts and feelings.
Well, I mean, okay, so I've had like it's Monday. It's a lot. There's a lot going on, and so to sit down and watch something super serious, was not fun. But there were some fun things I liked about this episode. So I think overall I liked it. Yeah.
I am going to be keeping this ship afloat with love because I loved this episode a lot. I hate it as a documentary because it's not, but I really, really love the swing. And I particularly like the first kind of third of this episode. I do wish if it had actually pulled off the trick of being an in-universe documentary, we're talking something else entirely. This could have been like just top-notch episodes of TV. However, I still had a really good time. I still really, really enjoyed it, and I will apologize for enjoying it because I know the feedback in general from the community is something that I'm saying that the general consensus is that they didn't pull it off, but I still had a blast.
Well, let's talk. I mean, my overall introduction to the episode was just this is a documentary. So I think we probably like to get a little bit more detailed on it. And this is when we finally get to see Ortegas's brother and all the film that he's been kind of capturing since he was introduced. Was it the second episode? I think he was in the second episode.
Yeah,
I
think that's right. Yeah.
So the approach to this is that he filmed the Enterprise on a mission, and his own personal angst against Starfleet has shaded his approach to like showing the audience this like the angle of what Starfleet is. And so it was very much like hey, prove that you're not a warship, prove that you're not out here doing damage. And so he's going into all of these one-on-one interviews with everyone that is in the crew and asking very forward questions about their jobs and what they have to face because of the angst that he has. And so we're seeing like their responses to the questions, but then also it's through his lens that we're seeing this mission carry out. And then of course that mission is an interesting like Star Trek show. Like it's a fun episode. It's pretty heavy.
There's a great episode of Star Trek in there.
Beautiful and interesting, and there's a lot of decisions that are being made that are filled with the kind of things that you're used to seeing in Star Trek, which is like wrestling with how you interject in other societies and all that. So that there's a lot of like familiar themes that Star Trek like hits on, but it's through the lens of this documentary, which can best be described by me as one of those photo flip books that's just changing camera angle. If we did any kind of a bonus round of just ding, 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 like all the time, that's just like change. It's a very fast. Visually, there's a lot of just shifting and changing going on. Some of it worked for me, but anyway, that's kind of the gist of the episode.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about it in two elements because it's quite a tricky one to organize. I want to talk about the documentary style and what they try to pull off there, and then the Star Trek episode that's underneath it about the interference and the war stuff. So I want to throw it to you, Aaron Dicer, because I couldn't help but think of you the entire episode. I think it's safe to say you've seen more documentaries than any of us, and probably more than most people listening. So yeah, I really want to hear whether you think like they pulled it off in any sense, or just your thoughts about the documentary framing.
Oh, the documentary part?
Yeah.
Somehow worse than the episode part, is what I would say. Yeah, I'm in the midst of, right now, I'm on the panel for nominations for the documentary awards for Critics' Choice. And so I'm watching a ton of documentaries right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is something that's happening in the documentary space that's been happening for a while. It comes from the Michael Moore School of Documentary Making, where the documentarian has become the narrator, and the documentaries have a point of view. And so I think it's going for that with, the brother character. But the problem is, well, first of all, it's just a terrible documentary right from the get-go, because how do you let the brother of a sister of a crew member make a documentary about
so much
what's
bias
going on his sister's ship,
a sister that's just been admonished and like removed from duty recently?
Right, yeah. But there's also the fact that he's not just the narrator with a point of view. He's the protagonist of his documentary.
Yes, it's about his journey.
The turning scene in his documentary is him talking to Uhura and her having a come to Jesus moment with him about his own, like, she's doing therapy with the documentarian as part of the documentary. It's immediately something other than a documentary. Whatever it would be called. But so there's a lot of that kind of stuff involved. That's before you get to the nonsense of the acquiring of the video throughout this episode. And what person was in Starfleet headquarters going, yeah, we can declassify this part, but nope, not these words over here. Better blur those words. Let them see this giant being that's a nuclear weapon. But, I just like the absolute nonsense of what got quote unquote declassified, and all these found footage style shots where, he's like got the camera started and pointing down, and, Ortegas is already
hiding
talking.
the camera.
And then she's like, oh, okay, we'll start. And he pulls the camera up, and it's just.
Is that unethical as a documentarian?
Yes.
Like, are you allowed, you have to have all of that signed off?
Different documentarians would say different things, but there's at least an ethical ambiguity with that. But that's not that's not the main issue. The main issue is it's just a terrible documentary, and that's before you get to the overall point of view, which is from the beginning asking really good questions, and then instead of answering them, getting to the end and just doing a puff piece for 10 minutes. Like, it's wild. He goes from, I'm doing this, takedown of Starfleet, to these guys are the greatest, over the course of an hour. And it's just, it's ridiculous and becomes muddled. And so the documentary is a joke. It's just a complete joke.
I am with you. I think I had my Star Trek lenses on the kind of soften it for me a bit, but as I was taking my notes, just like, let's imagine that this is an actual documentary, and it's really hard to see it as a real documentary. One of the bits that really tripped me up was, like you said, that revelation that he has with Uhura, that he came in with a point of view and he came in with a bias. So wouldn't that change how he framed the documentary in the edit? However, the edit that we're watching, we're seeing the realization in real time. So yeah, if he truly, I guess because then he does become the subject of the documentary, because it's about his journey, not the question, what is Starfleet, because of how he's framed it. So yeah, and that's, I would have loved to answer the question, like the question at the top of the show, like, you call them starships, but what differentiates them from warships? Like, digging into that is really, really interesting. Like, he asks some great questions about, are you military? Are you peacekeeping? Do you have a right to be either? Like, why is
I gotta-
Starfleet swinging its stuff around?
I got to tell you, when it starts with, are they explorers as they claim or soldiers as they appear? I was like, oh, let's go.
Yes,
Yeah.
great
Let's
question.
go. Let's dig
Yes.
into this. Then not only does the documentary only kind of wave at that, the episode itself isn't really about that. It isn't really at its core about
Not
that.
really,
The
no.
episode itself at its core is about what if nuclear weapons were sentient. That's what this episode is.
Well, and should you weaponize a sentient being? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
That's the core of it.
Also could be interesting, but completely different from what I thought I was set up to actually explore. And it just never does. So part of my frustration with this episode is that I thought, oh, here it comes. You know, we're actually going to get something really good and interesting, and it's all surface level and wavy.
Yeah, it super is, and then ends up with Starfleet is us. It's the people that make it. I was like, okay, yep, that
solves the problem of killing people.
Yep, didn't really address anything because you felt bad about being harsh at the beginning of the documentary. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Ambassador, how did you feel about the documentary style? This is a big shift from any episode of Star Trek we've seen before, except maybe in The Pale Moonlight, where Sisko is doing his direct-to-camera recap of fucking the Romulans into the Dominion War. But this is a huge break from the format. So did it work for you as a change from your regular Star Trek?
Okay, I'm going to say something, and I am serious about it, but I don't want you to think that I'm shallow. If I can have more close-up of Spock, I'm happy. So I think that's something to be noted.
Nothing shallow there. That is factual.
So what I did enjoy about it is that it's like a different view. That was unique. So documentary aside, like how documentaries should be kind of put together, or the story that they're telling or they're not supposed to tell, the neutrality of the documentary versus it being shaded by the person that's making it, that's all really interesting. And like listening to you both talk about that did change or like highlight, I guess, some of the things I wasn't really paying attention to because there was a lot going on that I was just, what I didn't enjoy is how much back and forth we had going on. Between like just the camera shots, everything. Physically? Yeah, there was so much that was being kind of pieced together that I personally didn't enjoy that much.
Because it also wants to be an episode of Star Trek,
right? And so it's using this sort of cuts of their opinions and their the crew's conversations or like what's happening with their mission. It's piecing together those conversations to further the plot of the episode along, which can be clever. But maybe I would have liked it if it was just like one or two characters, maybe three. But we're talking about like just boop 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 boop, just cut. And,
yeah, there was seven maybe characters that they hit, I believe.
But also just the angle changes between like a moment. So he's on the bridge. The director is on the bridge. And then there's the drone camera, there's the interior cameras, there's the cameras that are inside their little panel where they're working. Then, so it's, you're maybe watching Ortega say something, but it's giving you several different angles, which makes me realize in a way that kind of, this is like a real room, you know, there's one camera over here on the shelf and there's a camera over here close up. But as it progressed, it was to me very, very distracting in one way, but in the other, I like the uniqueness of it. It kind of just flavored it differently for me. There were these really interesting moments when, like, for example, Spock was talking with Uhura and she was asking about his handshaking and he just sort of glances over to the camera. I kind of liked that. I liked that it was an annoyance, like his presence was an annoyance. And I felt the tension there. And what it really did is it made the characters come more alive for me because they shift based on their interview. And so it was showcasing these different characters and their backgrounds and how they approach things. You know, you've got La'an shooting shit. You've got the first officer that's kind of pretty stoic. The captain's pretty stoic. And then you've got Uhura, who's, you know, very warm to camera. And Mbenga, who is a war criminal
Yeah, I love the question. He's just like, has Starfleet ever ordered you to kill somebody? And I just wanted the answer to be, well, they've never had to.
But
I just kind of do it.
And as an entertainment piece, I liked it. But
exactly,
as a piece where this is a real world, where there's a documentary person who has found a doctor who has all of these redacted information, and it's part
There's
of this
your documentary, people.
Like, how does he still have a job? Like, this should bring up a lot of questions about Starfleet and how they're running their operation. And to me, it really just punches a whole bunch of holes into Starfleet, and then doesn't really.
And then it's just okay with the holes.
Yeah, it's just okay with the holes at the end. It left me more uncomfortable than I started, for sure. So for my comfort and my peace, I go back to like the beautiful shots, the beautiful acting. Like, the acting in this episode, I really, really enjoyed. I mean, genuinely, I could watch that and like what's happening, their mission and how they're all interacting with their mission. I really liked it. It needed to be longer, so it wasn't so fast paced in the places that needed to slow down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shortest episode of the season so far, possibly the shortest episode of the show so far at 40 minutes, including credits on the front, not on the front, but yeah, credits on the back. So yeah, super duper short. I
think the question I ask myself is, would I have enjoyed this episode if it wasn't done documentary style? Like, if it was pulled back and we were just watching an episode, I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, ditto. That's right. I really have to put the documentary criticism out of my brain.
But I would miss
to enjoy
the
it.
Close-ups.
But we can just zoom it. We have the technology.
We don't.
We can zoom in.
We don't, because they didn't film it that way.
I'm going to re-edit every episode of Strange New Worlds to just be from Spock's POV. We're going to keep all of the audio, but it'll just be shots of Spock.
Maybe my last thought here is there are some scenes, maybe with Spock, in particular, well, all of them, doing various things around their spaces as the camera is following them around. I really, really enjoyed so much. I wonder why it's not incorporated more. Like, is it because it's just documentary style, so it can't go into the show?
Yeah, I think they had a choice to make. It was, do we break format or do we present this as a documentary? And it's clear from like the opening disclaimer, the skipping the opening titles, they wanted to go full documentary format.
Yeah. I just think there were some beautiful decisions made by the director of this episode, not the director in the show. But like,
he made no good choices.
I don't know. There were some interesting ones there. Sharon Lewis, I think, is what I wrote.
No, I
down.
meant Umberto. I meant Ortegas, the brother.
Yeah. Just for clarity, I'm talking about Sharon Lewis. There were some really beautiful moments that maybe because of how it was all placed and put together, how much the camera angles and such and the acting moments were doing, they sort of got a little bit lost. But it makes me kind of want to have more of that. And I guess that's just director styles. That's kind of one of the unique parts about watching Star Trek, is each episode you're going to have maybe a different vibe from the director. But it made me want to know more about Sharon Lewis, which is an interesting thing to say. So I'm glad that they did it, because I think it's a unique experience. But yeah,
gives us something to talk about that Star Trek hasn't really done before. The only other element of the documentary style I wanted to talk about were the talking head pieces to camera. Did any of those work for you, Aaron? Did you get like any valuable insight? The questions were incredibly leading, but we had Ortega, Spock, La'an, Uhura, and Benga. Did any of them kind of gleam any kind of extra character insight for you, or were they just...
I love that Ortegas is like the brother Ortega. What's his name? Humberto is like, what's it feel like to kill people? And then Pike puts him in his place, and he leaves it in the documentary.
Yes, I kind of respect that. That's an integrity, though. That's some documentarian integrity.
I mean, about the documentary, a real documentary in the tone that he's going for would be so much more expansive. We'd start with so much more of the history of Starfleet, other examples of where Starfleet has gone wrong or invaded or, done whatever. And it just to all be focused on these people is a result of that this is an episode of TV about these people. It's not actually a documentary. I wonder if there's a more cohesive version of this that is more like Office style documentary, where it's more of a sense of humor, where somebody gets to play the Jim to the camera a little bit more.
I want that entire season. I want that. Get Tandy Newsome to Tawny Newsome to do it. Beckett Mariner. Get her to put it together.
Yeah, I wonder if that maybe works a little bit better, because it's not just that the documentary is a bad documentary, which sure it is, whatever, but it's also that the documentary is playing against the rest of the episode. Like this is an episode of television that is at war with itself.
Yes,
ironically. So like there's just, it just becomes a distraction because it's the main thing. It's the foundational way they're telling the story, and it just does not fit the story they're telling.
I had some hopes because the Klingon Empire is mentioned at the top of the show. I think as he's narrating, and I, for a brief, fleeting second, thought, is this going to be like a compare and contrast? Like, what is the difference between? I mean, he even says that. What is a federation? Like, what is the difference between a federation and an empire? And how different are we compared to the Klingons? Like, what an angle that would have been. And maybe we've got limited documentary access to a Klingon bird of prey. And as ridiculous as that would have been, like, compare and contrast between the Klingons and Starfleet and find out what Starfleet is by example. But I don't want to get too much into rewriting the entire episode.
No,
the fact that
it's a problem, because the answer at the end is, we get to decide because we're the good guys. And that's such a bad answer, because none of us are the good guys. Like
even our own story.
I had the same problem with Superman, which deals with some of the same stuff. A movie I enjoyed major parts of, but they deal with this same kind of conflict where it's an overpowered conflict, and it has metaphorical ramification for what's going on in our real world right now with several different conflicts, and what is the United States responsibility as a superpower and those kind of things. And the answer in both cases is, well, we get to decide who to give help to and who to kill because we're the good guys.
That's the problematic thing with Starfleet.
And again,
life,
why I thought this episode was going to be amazing when they introduced the themes at the beginning.
One thing that really like limits, I think, like maybe this would help change things. There's a quick moment where all of a sudden the idea of trying to communicate with this being, this weapon that's a sentient being, Pike says, "I've just talked to command and we're gonna go on the shuttle." And it's like, well, what did you say to command? Suddenly, what changed? Like, before, Uhura steps up and says, "We can talk to it. We can talk to this thing, and we're working on it." And Pike says, "Nope, shoot it." And then all of a sudden, it's okay. Now that we shot it and that didn't work, I've talked to command. And is that it? That command said, "Okay, you need to attack this thing. You need to kill it. I was missing. Of course, purposefully, we're missing the command's objective. Like, we don't get to know what was being said from on high. And so then that sort of changes a bit about the episode for me too, is I'm wondering, well, what changed to make it go from us being the soldier guys that are just going to shoot to kill and ask questions later to we're going to do everything we possibly can to not only communicate with it, but attack it so that it can attack us, so that it can go. And I think that's what you're talking about with the documentary, is fighting against the mission story of this episode.
Yeah. And we're going to become sanctuary lion tamers now. We're going to steal your planet and turn it into a sanctuary, because we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to take your planet that you're misusing and then turn it into a sanctuary. Not gonna address how problematic that is as well, because we know best. We know best for these animals,
because there's babies involved now.
There are babies, and I think that was what he communicated, was that this is a creature that is being coerced and wants to die, like does not want to be a part of it. So now we're obligated to step in, but that's what the Prime Directive is there for. Like, that's why they shouldn't be getting involved in the first place.
Yeah, and there's there's so many questions about why. It sets you up to see that you're making your ship, your country is making decisions that you're uncomfortable with and you're out of power, right?
Well,
like it just sets this up.
Can we also talk about how the Federation was like after the Lutani? I think that was it Lutani. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
After the Lutani were like, yeah, we wanted to use a nuclear warhead on our enemy, and the Federation's like, we'll still help you in other ways.
Yes,
just not with the nuclear. It's like, maybe don't help the people that wanted to use a nuclear warhead on their enemy. I don't know. Maybe violence is never the answer. I don't know.
That's the bit that I thought they were going to explore that they didn't, because they mentioned at the beginning the war is between the Lutani and a sister planet, Kassar. And I think there's some question raised about why are we helping the Lutani? And I think it's because the Kassar are being helped by the Klingons. So it's like it's a war by proxy.
Yeah.
Why aren't we basing the documentary on that fucked upness? Like the only reason we're helping the Lutani kill the Kassar is because the Klingons are helping the Kassar kill the Lutani. Like that in and of itself is enough to make the documentary about.
I imagine just like there are people who are like America, there are people who are like Starfleet. You know, like it's just that's what it is. It's 100%. Just like it's Starfleet, you know, so we're the best. So what we do is right because we do it.
Maybe the point of this episode is to land in that uncomfortable space and not answer those questions, because it can't answer those questions. There's a lot of different episodes that have different angles about how Starfleet approaches things, or how the crew pushes back against Starfleet to try to make better decisions, which I believe is what they're trying to say in this episode, is that we exist in this place because it's doing the best we know how to do, and we push back when we can to try to make it better as we can. And that is encouraging, but it, you know, it doesn't go back into the depths of it. And it's, you know, when they're a military, you've said it from the beginning, Ian, they're a military operation. They have command, they have weapons, their mission is to explore. But as this episode says, they're also ready to fuck you up. And depending on which character you're talking to, will fuck you up in different ways.
And they what I think was frustrating is they do sometimes use a metaphor to broach that. So he asks La'an, like, okay, she says we only use weapons for self-defense. We have phasers because it's dangerous in space. And then he says, okay, Gorn turns up, do you shoot first? And clearly her answer is yes, I will shoot first. And that is an interesting thing to explore. Okay, you say it's for self-defense, but let's talk about the times when you shoot first and when you decide, actually, no, we're going to intervene here. Like, that's why my prediction was this is going to be about establishing the Prime Directive, because a lot of, like, when you say what is Starfleet, it's kind of like, what is the Navy? Like, there is a more exploratory element to it, but that core question is, why are you space explorers and not a military force? Like, great question. Like, let's do that. So unless you have any other thoughts about the documentary-ness of it all, should we talk about the story underneath the documentary?
What we can extrapolate, yes.
So there is a war between the Lutani and Kassar people that we've talked about. It's a basically war by proxy between Starfleet and the Klingons. The Enterprise has been tasked with taking a sentient creature from one place to another that is somehow linked to the war effort. And all of the questions are asked about why are we moving cattle when we're supposed to be helping them with a war. It's revealed that this is a giant freaking beautiful space moth that is very quickly revealed to be a fantastic weapon. Aaron, you've said that this is somehow... Was this worse than the documentary, or the documentary was somehow worse than the episode? You did not like this story.
The documentary was somehow worse than this episode. Yeah. I think the episode is muddled even underneath the documentary. Yes, the episode is at war with the documentary, but also the episode has the same hand waviness as the documentary does with, you know, it sets up a metaphor that, again, is very clear. It's Russia, Ukraine, it's Israel, Hamas. It's, you know, something's going on in, you know, our universe / our planet here, and what is our responsibility. And it never really wants to wrestle with that. Instead, it's distracted by this creature who is, again, this, you know, giant weapon or whatever. Now, that's interesting. if that was the core of either the episode or the documentary, but it is not. It is, in many ways, it just becomes, here's a decision to make. Here's an easy decision to make. Do we give this nuclear weapon to the Lutani?
Yeah.
That's not a deep thinker. You know what I mean? Like, of course they're not going to.
But they did. Their first choice was to continue to give it to them, even after they realized it was a weapon.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Yes, it was only when they realized it was sapient, whichever one it is.
But they knew,
sapient.
That's frustrating to me in general. That's the idea. Like when you watch a kid's show with talking animals, but like the ants don't count. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
or the talking pigs are eating a bacon sandwich.
This is a massive, beautiful creature that has a shock collar around its neck.
Mm-hmm.
Like they fucking know, and the show pushed it that we're still gonna like obey orders and make it uncomfortable.
No, I'm with you. Like, what was the line? What exactly was the step too far? The line must be drawn here. This far, no further moment. Like, what was it, and why wasn't it a lot sooner? And
why don't we explore it? Why don't we explore the thinking of it?
Yeah, exactly.
They never have to do a mutiny. They never have to go against Starfleet orders because he just says, well, Starfleet's not happy with me, but they agree. I was like, well, then it doesn't matter if then they are happy with you because they're agreeing. Like you haven't done anything wrong here. You've just presented the facts and then they gave you new orders. So it is, the live chat is coming up with some great TNG did this better answers, which is so true because there's an episode where the Enterprise, basically everybody has had their memories wiped. All they know is that they have a mission to kill people, this species, and they go about it blindly because they trust their orders. And it's in the very last moment when they haven't met any resistance and they're about to destroy these people that they stop to question, wait, what are our orders? What's going on here? So, and that's what we don't get in this episode. There's no real moral battle that happens. There's a Uhura that objects, and then eventually there's enough mounting evidence where you cannot ignore it. So the decision is kind of made for them. I'm trying to explain why I liked this episode. Can somebody help me? Because I did start by saying I liked it.
It's beautiful again.
There we go.
Like the creature work is incredible.
Oh my God.
I kind of wanted there were a couple of closer shots that were just stunning, but I wanted even more of that just because it was so beautiful.
My breath was taken away when the space moth comes out of the ocean. Stunning, and then it just gets more and more beautiful as it goes on, and it just
reminds me of
out of the planet. It's just gorgeous.
Reminds me of a mantis shrimp. There's just something really cool about animals that have all those colors and
absolutely stunning. And then when the little shuttle tries to fuck with it, it just ruins it. And I'm like, this beautiful thing has also got teeth. So again, and of course, I'm the Star Trek nerd. This episode, the opening 5 minutes of this episode gave me so much fan rubbing because it's some of the best shots of the new Enterprise that we've had as well, where it's in dock, it is gorgeous, it's in detail, it's well lit, it's not hidden in darkness. We get some like nerdy stats about it. There's definitely some inconsistencies about the size of it compared to other starships, but that's okay. I can be okay with that. But I know the Starship stuff doesn't mean too much to you, Aaron, but Danae, did you like the visuals as well, especially that opening stuff?
Yeah, I mean, again, the entire documentary part of it was interesting too, just like the different interfaces that it would have on screen. Visually, there's all that going on, but then you pair it with like the visuals of the actual show that would still be there if it wasn't a documentary, and those were really, really beautiful. The exterior shots. I even like the way that we have the exterior shuttle shot where we're getting like the security camera shot as we're approaching into the water and we're getting to see it come out of the water. The sun, there's just so much to look at and to enjoy and to appreciate. And I loved it. I thought, I mean, it's obviously like the thing where it's like, oh, something pretty is bad, and oh, something pretty is so dangerous, and oh, something pretty has killed itself. Like, would we feel the same way if it was a rat? You know, these are the things I want the show to explore a little bit more, but it's making really easy decisions. It makes it so easy. And I know this is not your question about how it looks, but like just thinking about the story arc of this beautiful space moth, it's like, oh, it's in a special category because it's also a mom now, you know, oh, it's this thing, you know, it makes it easier for us to feel empathy and move this into a different category in our hearts. But like, the show missed the opportunity to help us understand the complexity of the decisions that are being made, because there's like a one-off comment about, oh, it's fried its brain too much. It's too far gone. It can have really intellectual conversations about how it hurts, but it's like, it knows it's too far gone. So it's got to kill itself now.
That was really difficult. And Benga's like, there's nothing we can do. I assumed it was like Terminator. Like there's literally no communicating with it, but it knows that it has babies that need protecting, and it knows that it needs to die. So how different would this episode be if they had used their visual energy to help us to understand how far gone it was, how deteriorated it was? Why just popping it with one shot makes it detach from its like it's targeting only one thing at a time until it's destroyed, but it also has the ability to circle. Is it because it's mind controlled that it was circling? Like, I think it's because it's attacking the biggest threat.
But it didn't attack the other ship. It was circling. It was circling its prey, but it was also like, there's a lot that I started to not enjoy about what I was seeing because I had more questions that it didn't have the time to explore, because it was attempting to explore Starfleet things that it also didn't explore very deeply. But visually, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to look at. I mean, obviously the crew is beautiful to look at. Their gear that they had on the shuttle that just sort of like has that sort of dark overlay, but you can still see the colors of like Spock's colors, and we've got some headgear going on this time, and but it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. The show is my favorite visuals I can think of.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Can I play off something Danae said, because I think it's a really important point about what if it was a rat? I mean, if you're looking at the metaphor of what this is saying, let's just be clear. This is an American ship that is transporting a nuclear weapon to the Ukraine to use on, Russia. All right. Let's just make the metaphor clear here. You can go to Israel, Hamas, whatever, but we'll just stay in Russia, Ukraine. So what if the story is about these people transporting this nuclear weapon, making this decision? This episode says, we're going to make that decision as easy as possible. We're going to give this thing's kits. We're going to make it beautiful. We're going to make it sapient.
It's got asthma.
And then at the very end, we're going to make it where it kills itself so that the problem is gone.
Yeah, they don't even have to kill it.
Correct.
No, they just have to get it to a sun.
Instead of the beautiful tension of how do these people go against, and drop this weapon into the bottom of the ocean because they know it's going to be bad news, even if their country sent them to deliver it to this country that's in peril. And those conversations but why shouldn't the smaller country equalize? Like all the conversations people are literally having right now about wars going on our Earth could have been had in a different context, but they were like, no, we're just going to make this super easy. We're going to turn the easy dial all the way up.
Do you think they watered it down? And this is a big leap. Did they keep it nice and fluffy because Paramount are fed up of getting sued?
I mean,
South Park doesn't seem to have that concern.
So yes, that's obviously, part of it. And I think like when we're talking about the complexity of this episode and documentary of the top of it and how it was directed, you have the writers, you've got the owners of the studio, you've got the director, all trying to accomplish missions. And I think we're looking at an episode that was doing a lot and trying to do its very best to make a statement of some kind. And I think I appreciate the effort. Maybe Star Trek isn't where we're going to have like the deeper hits, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, it has.
But then don't wave at them. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. If you don't want to go deep, then don't go shallow. Do something else. Have fun in a different,
do more holodeck episodes.
Philosophical way or something.
Yeah.
Star Trek has been that place to do that, and I think that's what I'm hitting on. That I'm missing. That it's not cutting to the core of of the issue or really wrestling with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's trying to in a world where, yeah, there is a fear of not only litigation, but fan being
and
canceled,
anti-wokeness. Yeah, exactly.
in a world where we want more Star Trek, where an error in one way or another all of a sudden could be, the canceling of something that everyone loves. So this might just be as deep as we get to go on content, not just with Star Trek, but maybe just across the board in general, unless you're looking at like other documentaries that are actual documentaries.
And I think the distinction is important too between expecting our entertainment to do this and letting our entertainment decide when it wants to do this. I don't expect any show to do this, but if you're going to wave at it, that's your choice then to either keep it shallow or actually go somewhere with it. And it's going to be annoying to me. It'll feel like a philosophy tease, So.
No, I'm with you. I'm going to get back to something super superficial, which is I could watch the Lutani all day long. Guys, practical prosthetics. And if it's not practical, well, flipping done for getting the CGI so good. The Lutani aliens looked incredible.
I loved those.
It just reminded, I thought I was watching TNG. I was back in like 1991 with the quality, like, I don't know, there just felt like a physicality to that prosthetic.
Yeah.
Even the one that was like all killed and burnt
Oh my
up.
gosh.
Incredible prosthetic work.
Yeah, well, and also again the gore work that we've seen this season, where we're seeing more like medical trauma than ever before.
Yes. Yeah.
When that particular scientist was brought into sickbay, and we're seeing that they didn't just make their prosthetics that look nice on the on screen when the ship shows up, but they also medically fucked him. There was even like part of their collarbone was like jutting out of their neck.
Oh,
and
I missed that. That's amazing.
It was really intense. And we also saw other medical stuff as well, like when the shuttle crew came back.
Yes.
And we get to see, the green blood and the red blood and things like that.
Which didn't matter. That was one of my most jarring lines was there's the explosion on the shuttlecraft and then the cut to Pike, and he said, sometimes people die. And I'm like, yeah, but not if they're in a prequel. And then you should but then I was like, it's a documentary. That's not the episode teasing us. That's a documentary in universe that doesn't know these people live. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine. The prosthetic was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that stuff. Commodore, before I just move into some, I just want to point out some deep cuts that tickled me that I liked. Do you have any? Don't feel like you have to, but do you have any positives for the episode where you enjoyed? I don't want to load that. That sounds really mean. But something that you did enjoy or that you'll take away.
I've talked about what I enjoyed already. I enjoyed the visuals from the the creature design to Uhura's sweater. Like all the visuals. Nice. I continue to love the style of this show. So yeah, definitely.
Well, in terms of some deep cuts, they mentioned Spock's psionic powers.
Yeah, they sure fucking did, and I was like, "What?
Wait, what?" And the fact that Vulcans have chosen to bury them. So this is an incredible deep cut to Gambit Part 1 and Part 2, which is a sixth or seventh season two-parter from TNG that I personally love. My feedback from the fan zone of Star Trek is that they don't particularly like this two-parter, but the long and short of it is that there is this revelation that Vulcans had mind-killing powers where they would literally, when they were in caveman times, they could use their mental powers to murder each other, melt each other's brains.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
They chose to put...
We don't need no space moths.
Right, you don't even need sticks and clubs. They were like, oh, I can bend your spine with my brain. That's incredible. They decided as a society to put down their nuclear weapons inside of their brains and move on. And somebody has found an artifact that will allow you to focus those psionic powers again and use it to kill people and stuff.
But it caused brain aneurysms, okay?
It can cause brain aneurysms, and there's also a conceit to it where I think it only works against somebody that's threatening you. So if you stop thinking bad thoughts, it won't work on you. Anyway, I just love that because it's the first mention of these psionic powers since then, I believe. And I
Really
love
cool.
it when clearly somebody has watched Gambit and then decided to put that into this episode to deepen the lore.
What I
just
liked
kinda
about
love
it
that.
was the idea that like this is also pre-Spock, and Spock hasn't had an opportunity to like really do more work, and
Yeah.
so he's vulnerable to these sort of things that he hasn't like done the disciplinary work to.
Yeah.
So it's just another reminder. This isn't the TOS Spock. This is like the younger kind of Spock. So I liked that a lot, and I also like the idea of. I was watching it going, okay, so like this is what Deanna would be doing on TNG is like sensing sensing her presence, sensing how she's feeling. But they get to use Spock in that. And I just didn't expect that particular part of it. And it turns out the human brain's better at it anyway, apparently. So
suddenly we don't have to be on a shuttle and Uhura's
no,
Uhura can do it. That confused me.
No, we just had to prove that it could be done so that Captain Pike could continue to talk to the command about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, some dog just appeared. The way that dog just appeared from behind you was incredible.
Hello? Are we talking Star Trek?
Hello! I want to be part of the conversation, please.
That dog just chewed a headphone cord in half, so...
The one you're using?
No, an old one, thankfully. But
that's amazing. Aaron Dicer, did you spot the food cubes from TOS?
No, I didn't. I didn't
come
see
on.
them. No.
It was
I thought it was Jello.
It's a plate of TOS food cubes that are just different colors.
I saw those, but I didn't know what they were. That's awesome.
I always remember them from Journey to Babel because there's a banquet that they've put on for ambassadors and it's just these fucking cubes that are different colored. And I love that they're embracing that and keeping them. Obviously, it was a budget thing back in the day. We need alien food. Let's make it cubes and colorful. Fine.
More ways to use Jello. Oh, no.
That's amazing. You're getting some dogs this last couple of weeks. That's amazing. The last one that I had was an interesting confirmation. This is something we've nitpicked multiple times about cameras on the Starship. So Ortegas, the documentary maker, gets kicked off the bridge, and then we get a cut to. Fortunately, there are cameras on the bridge, and we've been allowed to use that footage.
And the Federation was like, "Yeah, go ahead,
sure.
Fine, we're good."
Because ultimately, it paints us in a good light because we let the creature die.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that it does specify that the cameras kick in during emergencies. So this is why we don't have 100% coverage of everything that happens on the ship, because it's only during red alert or emergencies.
Because in the future, data storage has gone down somehow.
Super.
Yes.
Cloud computing doesn't work. Yes. We don't have gigaquads of data apparently to
I'm
record
in 2025 and I have access to everything my cameras have got in the last 3 months. So
exactly, 100%. Yeah, absolute bullshit. But it's interesting to me that they felt the need to specify that and give an in-universe reason for why don't we just run the tape back? Because it would kill every murder mystery. It would kill any kind of mystery that ever happened. You can't have that, even though you absolutely would. Well, unless we have anything else, let's do some pips. Do we have anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Let's do some pips.
What?
Okay, I did a terrible job of explaining the pips to you last time.
Okay.
Commodore. I'm sorry. This is the ranking, and it refers to the pips, the ranking pips on your uniform.
Okay.
Apologies.
Well, I did have one other moment that I wanted to bring up before we pip.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hilarious when she says firing a burst, not enough to annoy her, but enough to get her attention. And I'm just thinking, glad you had time to dial that in somehow. Like, I'm glad you were just aware of the right amount that's in that perfect balance between it's gonna kill us or it's not gonna care.
Yeah,
just stuff like that that's just waved over is always the funniest stuff to me. It's like, how do you know how much to hit her with? Like,
that's amazing, because it would have been better if it said not enough to kill it, but enough to get its attention. Is better. Right. Because, how do you know exactly what it's going to react to that results in you getting nuked out of the sky?
Phasers to annoy her perfectly, you know?
Which is what most of these episodes do to Aaron, it seems.
Yes.
This is kind of grim, but...
Do it.
Why did she have the ability to fly herself into the sun?
Good question. The shock
she's
collar clearly isn't
radioactive in
shocking
some
enough.
way. I don't know.
No, but I think again, I think you mean like how did she manage to violate her programming?
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea. The shock collar clearly isn't shocking enough.
Okay.
Or I think the idea is that the Enterprise became a new threat, so that the programming focused on the Enterprise.
But then why didn't
and then
it
slingshotted it into the sun because it was close enough.
There was no mention of a slingshot.
No.
And it wasn't a gravitational pull situation.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Not really explained unless we missed it, which is very possible.
Okay. Well, for that reason, I give it 2 pips.
Commodore. And it's 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4.
How many pips?
It's any pip you want. You can also go no pip.
How many pimps does an ensign have?
How many pimps? I don't know. Depends how well they're doing. An ensign has 1 pip.
All right, 1.
Okay. I'm going to go with 2. I've talked myself down quite a bit over the course of this episode. I want to watch it again because I think if I switch my brain off, and I think I had switched my brain off for a good chunk of the episode, I'll enjoy it superficially, but it fails in the way that I want it to succeed at what Star Trek does. With that, where are we going? Commodore, I'm going to let you choose. Where are we going to answer some emails and Twitch messages this week?
Yeah,
Which part of the
ship?
ship? Yeah, if you can name a part of the ship.
I just need to name you're talking to me, and I need to name
Commodore.
a part of the ship.
Name a part of the ship where we're going to go and answer some emails.
What are the parts? Let's see.
I fully expected you to just make one up or say something Star Wars.
The elevator.
Okay,
the lift.
To the turbo lift. Let's do it.
Lift.
This is amazing. We're just going to hog a turbo lift.
Yes. that actually
time.
is great because there's so many awkward moments when the door opens and then they just interrupt the middle of a bitch session.
Yeah, I interrupted something, didn't I? To the turbo lifts.
So, Dicer, we can go into the starred comments, and if there's one you like, you can read it out loud. And we'll just go round robin.
And I will kick us off with emails that we've brought in. Okay, hailing frequencies open, everyone. It's time for us to read your messages from Discord, Twitch, and, well, email and YouTube. I have an email from Nick here, who I believe is a first-time emailer. Forgive me if I got that wrong.
Thanks, Nick.
Greetings, Captain Ian and Ambassador Danae. Back on the topic of franchises mixing in the episode, the Salat Who Ate Its Tail, which included a TARDIS next to the Enterprise. I agree with you 100%, Ian. That's all I wanted to read on that email. No, I just love being agreed with. It was a distracting mistake. Keeping the franchises separated can be important. A similar argument could be made when R2-D2 appears in the debris of the Battle of Vulcan in the 2009 J.J. Abrams movie. So this is the first Chris Pine Star Trek movie. And R2-D2 is floating across screen.
That's so stupid.
And all of this is because J.J. Abrams, his fandom is Star Wars. Like he loves Star Wars.
But
wasn't really familiar with Star Trek.
Why would you do that? That's like if someone has like a fish allergy and you just want to prove that it's true, so you sprinkle in a little salmon into the salmon. Like, why would you do that?
I'm not following the metaphor, but I agree with it completely. Did you, again, I know we talked about it last. Go on, Danae, I love your thoughts.
No. Why would R2-D2 be at that battle?
Agreed.
That's what I mean. It makes so little sense.
It's so hard. You either ignore it or accept that it happened.
And I don't understand Doctor Who because I think I've only been forced to watch 2 episodes ever.
Not by me.
And I don't know that I'll try it again because maybe I will. I think I need to be in an altered conscious state. But I remember like time travel, right? Like Doctor Who is time travel. So maybe, or even like dimensional travel. Alternate realities travel.
With this new series, it has warbled with dimensional stuff.
So could it potentially interact with Star Trek? Maybe. But like R2-D2 doesn't seem like it's in the same. Is it in the same universe?
No, absolutely not. Depending on your definition of universes. I mean, the TARDIS actually makes a little bit more sense because we know that Star Trek comes from Earth history. So we know that if you go back to the 1950s and you went to London, you would see a phone box. So fine, somehow a phone box ended up in space, whatever. Star Wars, we don't even know if Earth is a thing, right? I guess humans are mentioned, but Earth isn't.
It's in our universe. It's just long time ago. Like it's
Yeah.
just like forever ago. So it's like ancient history in a galaxy that's nowhere near us. So, or far, far away, you might say.
Anyway, I know we already talked about it last time, but that really upsets me.
Yeah.
Like it would upset me if somebody put fish into my friend's food who is allergic to fish.
Absolutely fair.
Fish are friends, not food.
Not food. Sometimes I wonder how much the simulation is setting Aaron up for these things. Danae, give us a message if you have one.
This one's from Emmanuel on our YouTube that says Starfleet/Federation didn't help Bajor during the Cardassian occupation. So what is the difference here?
You're right. It's and someone else in the live chat said if you want to see Starfleet brought to task, watch Deep Space Nine because they're brought to task like so many times. And yeah, there wasn't much of a benefit to helping Bajor, I think is the answer, but that's an interesting question to ask. Like, that's what you should explore. Why didn't they help Bajor until it was beneficial to them and they had a fucking wormhole?
Maybe they learned their lesson in this episode.
I knew she was involved with Kanye. Who's Bajor?
Oh, that's a different. I'll bring you up to speed on that later. It was in an Instagram post. So.
Commodore, give us a question
or a comment.
Yeet you.
Query. Is Beto a film student or a film school grad? This often had the feel of a student film. I suppose he could be a recent grad, and that's why it has that feel occasionally.
That's interesting.
Yeah, making it a student film solves a bit of the terribleness as a documentary. Like, you know, if this is like a project, but it also increases the ridiculousness of Starfleet being like, yeah, here's all our stuff.
Well, right.
That's true.
Yeah, which
I
was
don't see them doing that for a student film.
I agree. Yeah. Exactly. I think it has to be a professional level because they were given access to all kinds of things.
And is this the first ever documentary about Starfleet? Because in that case, why did you give it to this Yahoo?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got an email from Michael. I've been loving this podcast and your journey through the best of Star Trek. I would put in parentheses. Jesus Christ! That just hit.
You just muted yourself.
I just hit 7 buttons on my board with one knocked over bottle.
Your gestures are so big. You've just like knocked over half of your.
Amazing.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You okay?
I'm gonna start that again.
Yeah, you should. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're all right.
You're all right. Yeah, I'm all right. You're all right.
You're all right.
I'm all right. You're
all right. All right.
This is an email from Michael. I've been loving the podcast and your journey through the best of Star Trek. In parentheses, I would put questionably the best, some of the worst as well. First question, can we court-martial Commodore Dicer for his besmirching of Newkirk? Yes. I think overall...
Can you do what to me? What is being done to me?
Court-martial.
Court-martial?
Yes.
Sure, yeah. Put me in the brig.
Brig?
Wait, that would be jumping the gun a little bit. I guess you're in the brig until you're brought to court. That would make sense.
Depends. Is there any kind of like bail situation in the Federation?
Organa?
All you have to do to get out is just mention that you want to do chess, and then the guard will let you out. So you're fine.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Literally happen.
Or get naked, or both.
Or wait until the third scene when it's revealed that you can just walk through force fields.
I hear no bad ideas so far.
Exactly.
Amazing. I think overall, Michael continues, I've been liking this season more than season 2. I think I'm with you there. I do really hope they resist the urge to introduce any more TOS characters aside from the one-offs. I wouldn't be surprised to get introduced to Bones at some point, perhaps at some conference with Mbenga. Second question, with the end of the series coming, do we think it's more likely or not that in the series finale, Pike will meet his end as we know it, and the show will immediately hand off to Kirk? Commodore, how likely do you think that final episode is literally going to be the Pike saving the ensigns, getting radiation burns episode?
I don't see how it's anything else. I also think they will turn it on its head somehow. I think we may have, speaking of Doctor Who, we may have a Rose situation here where you get rid of a character, but it's in a better way than you thought, you know, like he's, you know, actually he's okay, but he's in a different dimension now or something, or maybe they'll have the guts to, you know, kill him off. But yes, that's where it's ending. It has to. I don't see any other situation where that's not where we're headed.
There's one reason why, and I want to hear your thoughts in a second, Danae. There's one reason why I don't think they're going to change it. Is because TOS did give him that ending with the menagerie. An ending that's better than the ending we thought. He does get a happy ending of sorts. So my instinct is they're gonna.
So it's already there. Yeah,
his story is already there. This still won't be the end of his story. That happens in TOS. So I think that'll give him some confidence to be fucking dark with anything. Danae, what do you think? What's your instincts?
I want to stop watching the show.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy what's to come.
Yeah. I and I'm not even kidding. I kind of I want to end on a happy note because there's a reason I never watched Titanic. When you know it's going to end in tragedy, and
spoilers.
It's just like, well, I mean, why go watch it? And people say it's because it was fun and it's a good film and there's great acting and interesting moments. And I'm just like, yeah, but my imagination is fine without it. And so then I'm reminded, like, I am on this train that is going to crash into a wall. And I hope they don't end on that. I hope it's not the final episode. I hope they do it sort of give us 2 episodes afterwards of a handoff of everybody going and visiting him in hospital or something. Like,
sounds miserable.
I don't know. I just
I'm with you. I'm circling back. I think they have to change it somehow because yes, TOS gives it some resolution, but you've got to end Strange New Worlds, the TV show, on a note that isn't majorly depressing. Yeah, I think they do have to do something different.
Maybe they don't go there at all. Maybe I just don't know how you play with it like you have already and not go there at all.
Yeah.
I don't know a show that is brave enough not to do something new at the end and put their own stamp on it. You know?
Flyboy says in canon, Pike's accent happens when Kirk has been in command for some time.
Oh, that's a good point.
Ooh, good point.
That's a really good point.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna need.
So is Kirk in command the last season?
Yes, Kirk is in command the last season. Yes, and I don't need to be there for certain episodes. I would like to keep Pike in a happy little place in my mind.
Yeah, he gets promoted and there's a handoff to Kirk in the final episode. That's what it'll be. It is just interesting that we're not going to see the tragedy.
We've got 2 more seasons, right?
I mean, we could see it happen.
Yeah, we've got all of season 4 and then 6 episodes for 5.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. And I wonder if between now and then, now that the merger is done, we may actually get a Paul Wesley greenlit Kirk series, perhaps.
Read this one from Andrew. Prediction: Pike successfully averts his fate, but messes up the timeline and has to go back and face what he avoided.
We've already had that episode. That was the season finale of season 1.
Shit, go watch that one again.
Just watch that. It's a great episode. That's amazing. Anything else from you guys?
I've got one more from Flyboy.
Sure.
If there are Lutani willing to defy their leaders and use violence to stop this project, those are the scientists that died in the shuttle.
Yeah.
Doesn't that warrant Starfleet hitting the pause button and taking a closer look?
100%.
This is where exactly the point that I was making earlier as well. Yeah. So I'm glad that you had that. I think that is when, like, historically, when I watch the show, that is where it would pause. But because the documentary is trying to do something, I think that they shifted that, but whatever.
Yeah, completely agree. I do want to give a quick shout out to Wandering, who had a fantastic prediction for this episode. Their email was: the titular question will be asked by Ortegas's brother, who I am sure has a name which has been said multiple times, but whom I can only think about as Ortegas's brother.
It's Umberto. Come on. All of us know this.
It will be answered by Uhura, Ortegas herself, Una, ? Let's go with Una, and it will be on the mind through a large portion of the episode, but at the end decisively answered by some sacrificial act for the greater good, which they can point to.
The greater good.
The greater good. Yeah, great. Really good prediction. Stopped just a centimeter short of calling it a documentary episode, so props to Wandering. If you have any emails or messages or anything you want to send us, the best way to do that is Ian and Danae at...
No.
Shit. No, it's not. Fuck.
Oh, at shit. No, that's it. Fuck.com.
I was doing so good and I've got it written down. I can do this.
You can do this.
If you've got any questions, emails, anything you want to share with us, please send it to Ian.
Shit, fuck.
to Ian at iananddanae.com, where I will read them personally. You can join us on our Discord as well, the Ian and Danae Discord. The links for that will be in the description below. If you want early access and ad-free episodes, starting from the 1st of September, that will be exclusively on the Ian and Danae Patreon. Again, links are in the description. And if you want to join us on the live show, it is twitch.tv/Danae Says and youtube.com/@Ian and Danae, where we will be live to do all of the things starting from September. Did I get that all right?
That's all of the things. Take the description. You go through.
The agony was.
You could literally just say, check the description.
No one checks the description, Danae. No one reads the description.
You don't know that. If you
email me.
If you check the description, email him.
I'm going to put a word.
I do.
I'm going to put a word in the description of this episode. You find the word that will be in capital letters and bolded and italicized. You email me that word to prove how many people read the description. I'm guessing less than 12.
Okay. You know what? Less will actually go through the effort of proving that they read the description.
I'm a liner notes kid of the 80s. Like, I read the description. Like, when I got a CD, I would read all the liner notes before I played the CD.
Amazing.
So, I learned well.
Nerd.
Ancient nerd.
Ambassador. I thought you said eat shit, nerd. I was like, whoa!
Eat shit, nerd.
Amazing. Commodore, anything you want to plug? That's you, Aaron.
Plug?
Yeah, plug anything you want to self-plug.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, Ambassador, have you got anything to plug?
Nope.
That I didn't just plug.
No.
Amazing. I can cut all of that out. Until next week, I'm Captain Ian, and
checks notes.
I have to go deal with a space dragon.
I'm Jedicer. And sometimes I don't know what I'm doing until I show up here.
Beautiful.
That should have been mine.
That should have been yours.
And it's Ambassador Danae with I don't think you would enjoy being questioned about it.
Live long and prosper. Oh, I love it. I love doing the show with you people.
I love this comment. People. I wanted it to be my last one. I'm going to put it here. Spock is more vulnerable to mental attack because he's telepathic. Not an unusual plot point overall, but I don't think Star Trek has done that before, especially with Spock.
That's interesting.
That's from
Usually it's the reverse. Like
they're cool.
They're more able to prevent it. Like the entire crew would get taken out, but Spock would survive and be fine because he has the barriers.
This one was interesting from Cameron, who said, I had the incredible fortune of attending a Q&A with Terry Metalis, where I got to directly ask him a question. And he mentioned the small number of episodes in each season as a top reason he did not dive deeper when he wanted to or include all the stories he wanted to. It was very enlightening.
Yeah, and he was the showrunner specifically for season 3 of Picard.
Time to make a new email. Absolutely.
Wait, what? No, we have too many already. I don't want any more emails. Andrew says you don't sound a day over 25, Dicer.
That's right.
I think you sound extremely old. Like just that deepness to your voice sounds very mature.
You need to write a book about your life. Yeah. I love my deep voice.
It's the
best. You should write a book about your life, says Slab, and then you have something to plug.
Have you ever wanted to write a book about your life? Yeah.
I got some notes. So yeah.
Is that the title of the autobiography? I have some notes.
No, it's not. I haven't titled it yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You would come up with an incredible autobiography title. There's just no way it wouldn't be a 10 out of 10 pun or.
Well, I have a phrase that I came up. Danae was in the room when I came up with this phrase, and I immediately bought the URL, and I've never used it for anything.
Is it the one that says the BF?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, wait, BP?
Yeah.
BFP? Yeah, that's a good one.
So it's
problem.
It's a decent, fun memory kind of sticky kind of thing, I think. But and it would go well with philosophical meanderings, which is what the book would be much of. So,
and you don't want to share it? on this platform?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
It's fair.
no, it's too juicy.
And then the live chat is coming up with some great alternatives that you could always use instead.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
Amazing.
Well, please be patient with us. We will post on, like I said, Discords. So we're both on the CinemaSins Discord and on the Ian and Danae Discord.
Yeah.
And we'll be posting on our Patreon about our new streaming schedule.
Yes.
I think our plan is to get that out like maybe before the episode drops tomorrow or at the same time that the episode drops on Wednesday. So that way the comments or the note section of your podcast will have all that information ready. So please be watching for that.
Yeah.
And if you get confused, you can always email the email that he said.
It's very clear, the very easy one to remember that I definitely got right first time.
Oh shit, fuck. What the fuck? Did I fuck it up again? At goddammit.com. I think that was it.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, no lies detected. That checks out.
Thank you guys for joining us. And thank you for already beginning to shift over to the new platforms. We really appreciate that.
It's awesome.
We will have, by the way, I'm about to post, I think today I'll be posting on our Patreon with some pictures from the summer for those that are our tieflingers. So thanks for doing that. But again, for all of you who have been over on the CinemaSins sides of things, it's been awesome. We're signing off on the CinemaSins side of things for our live show for now. So it's coming to a beautiful close.
Captain Spot has a new 5-year mission. Wait, did I say 5 years?
Oh,
no,
Jesus.
Continuing.
No,
Shit.
Okay.
Do you think you can do this for the next 5 years? Can you keep going?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I just heard the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I think the dogs need
wow.
Yeah, I can probably do this for 5 years.
Love it.
There's a lot of shows we haven't done yet. There's a lot of episodes we haven't done yet.
And they're still making Star Trek, and they are committed to making more Star Trek as of 12 p.m. this afternoon. They're still committed to making more Star Trek. So yeah. I think we could have some really good stuff in the future.
Yes.
It's the first time ever it's all going to be in-house under the same umbrella since the 60s.
Ooh, that's fun. I think I just saw that they hired a Star Trek fan to help coordinate all of that.
They have a few that are already on board. But yeah, it would not surprise me.
So Roberts, this will be I'm going to put it up on screen for you. So it's that last one. It's youtube.com/ then they have to do the @ sign.
And
that's for the new YouTube. So all of the previous episodes are going to stay on the CSPN channel. So if you're on the CinemaSins YouTube channel for our podcasting, you can find all of the old episodes there. They will stay there. But going forward, there will be on the @ Ian and Danae site.
Yep. And you'll be able to see it live on the live tab immediately. And it will also be uploaded on Wednesdays just as the fully edited version of the podcast. You'll be able to catch it on YouTube.
Yes, it's live now. Right now, it's just got a few gaming things because we've been playing Minecraft and Baldur's Gate. And I have a role-playing thing that I do as a different character. So you'll see it there. It'll have a picture of Ian and I. And for other updates about what we do, you can find all of that on our Patreon. So, yeah. I love the ideas about branching off further sci-fi. We could, and we probably will experiment with that on our Patreon. So if you want to hear like test audio or test ideas or even vote on that stuff, those will all be on our Patreon. Oh my God, Stargate.
I would love if you guys did a Star Wars podcast and I came on here and trolled you with Star Trek references.
Let's go. Let's do it.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. I love it. I love Stargate. Stargate is incredible. Oh God, I don't want to talk about Section 31. That might be my least favorite piece of Star Trek content. That makes me sad. It makes me sad.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be fun. We've got lots and lots left in us. We're still.
I want to do this so bad, Andrew.
What?
A playthrough of Star Trek Elite Force. I love that game. I love the game.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that's pretty high on my list. I love that game so much. Sorry, carry on. You were doing important things.
No, I really wasn't. I wasn't doing anything important. I was just trying to end the show.
Oh yeah.
Yes. We always want to go for some streams.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. In fact, I have moved Baldur's Gate onto a different internal hard drive. Fingers crossed it'll fucking work. I do have another plan, which will be to log in on Danae's computer and do it from there. And either way, we're going to get Baldur's Gate finished.
But that could be tonight because Mondays are a really good day for us to go live in the evening. So I think I just recommend if you don't mind on Twitch or even on YouTube, to click on the bell so that you get a notification, because we also kind of want to test that. But we will post all that onto our channels. The first people that get it are on Patreon, and then we'll post it onto the Discords.
Yeah, and even if you're just on even if you're on the free access level of Patreon, you'll still get a notification in a little chat channel that we have that we're going live.
And with that, we're out.
Peace!
Bye!
Pods long and prosper. Peace and long pods.